with this tech tools, why teachers need to also get themselves equipped with these tech tools, so that as we progress and as we grow in our journey in the education space, we are not left behind. 2 weeks ago, I was also still sharing my personal journey on how I started to do what I'm currently doing, and how I moved from someone that studied accounting to now being in the education space, and not just being a regular classroom teacher, but rather a tech teacher, equipping children with tech skills. And I was just sharing a few weeks, that same day that we had that conversation, that it would not make sense that my learner that come to my class are getting themselves equipped with tech knowledge, and you, the teacher that is in the classroom, you are not catching up. Okay. And it was just a conversation that we had that particular week. And then I just thought that as we progress, I sincerely apologize that we couldn't meet last week, Saturday, but I'm glad that we are here today. And thank you so much for joining. Today, we want to look at a very, very interesting conversation, still in line with whatever that we are talking about, on how teachers can get yourself equipped with tech, how you can become a digital teacher, how you can just get yourself, growing in this whole modern technology and not feel like, and not feel left behind. It's going to be a practical session along the line. But before we get into the practical aspect, it's important for us as teachers to understand that if we want to get ourselves, if we are getting this tech education and getting this tech knowledge, we need to also understand the online space. I know that some of us are regular classroom teacher. We just, get to go to the class at 8. We resume by 7:15 or sometime. I remember when I was still working in a particular school as a secretary. I think I already shared. So if you did not join that my 2 weeks ago conversation, yeah, you really missed out though. Like, you really, really missed out, because I was sharing how I was a secretary and I had to go and teach when my colleagues are not available. And that's how the whole journey just started. And look at me now. I'm now working with children. I did not study education, And so why I brought that up is, so I understand that some of us, we are teachers, we resume at a specific time and we go home and that's all. And then we just go through the same routine, the same circle for term 1, term 2, term 3. And then I asked a question. I asked a question the last time that we met. I was just asking that, if COVID happens today, are you still going to be in the teaching field, or are you going to be out of job? Or let's say, for example, I was still even sharing a scenario of when my estate, where my husband's state, got flooded, and I could see school buses coming in to pick children. And I just knew that this school bus, when they get to this particular junction, hey, if the school bus pass this particular junction, it will just quench. Like, this bus will just turn off because the water was too much. Now, in that situation, I was just thinking in my head that I just wish that the teacher or the head of school or the school owner can just tell the parents of this child and say, do you know what, Mrs. T? Unfortunately, we understand that your estate is flooded, but we want to also assure you that your child will not be missing out on all that is going to be happening in the school today. Let your child join the class with this link, and your child is covered. I was just calculating in my brain that can this school owner just call, because sincerely it was flooded and there's nothing that the school bus driver could do. Only if he wants to just carry all of the children and just swim, right? That kind of swim, because it was that flooded, right? So while we are growing as teachers, even though we are the regular classroom teacher, we need to also ensure that we know how to position ourselves online and even how to teach online too. Look at us now. We're having this conversation now, and I'm in my husband's house. Some people are, Mr. Dova is in like my husband's house. Mrs. Esther should also be in like, everybody's in their various, Mr. Antonia is in our house, everybody's in their various locations. But then we're having this conversation. And if you as a teacher don't know how to do as simple as this, then there's a problem, a tiny problem, right? And that's why I just said, okay, before we get into the more practical aspect and teachers really need to understand how to teach and how to have a class online. It seemed easy. It seemed like there's no that just send Google Meet classroom and then the child just join. I just send like Zoom link, 40 minutes, and just some, and then we're done. But then sincerely, it is beyond that. And that was why I said, okay, let's go through that channel, and we are going to see how some of these tools work if we have more time. If we are unable to complete it, we will definitely continue next week. Okay, we'll definitely continue next week. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining. I'll try as much as possible to end this conversation in the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes max. 40-minute max, I'll try as much as possible to end this conversation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at how to teach online. So Mr. Adawa just told me that, Betty, just come and just shake our teachers. I'm like, which approach will I follow? But I'm just realizing that this is going to be very important. If you are already a pro when it comes to teaching online, I really would love your contribution. I would also love to hear from you, and also, just hear that we are also on the same page. And if you're a teacher here and you feel like how to teach online, hey, Miss Betsy, where do you want me to start from? I don't even have a laptop. I don't even have a device. Hey, Miss Betsy, I finished me today. I'm glad to announce to you that the fact that you can join this class via whatever means that you're joining in with, you're good to go. So the fact that you can join the class, okay, the fact that you can join the class like this, you're good. All right. So today we're going to look at a few things. We're going to look at so I'm just trying to move at the next point, right? Okay. All right, so we're going to look at a few things. We're going to look at what are the benefits of online teaching, okay? Because if we don't understand this benefit, there's no how we can be able to even feel like this conversation is important. If we don't understand the benefits, we'll also look at ways you can engage students online, how you can manage the classroom, how you can assess your students, and also we'll look at a few resources that will help you as an online teacher. So I hope that the few points I'm going to share in this conversation really, really, really helps one person and just get you ready for, get you pumped up for the future. Get you pumped up for the future, okay? Now, I guess I remember that somebody was saying that he or she wanted to learn this particular topic. I don't know if it's the teacher or teacher. I don't know if the person is here. Somebody, when we met 2 weeks ago, was saying that Miss Betty, can you also teach us how that she just left the teaching space and she wants to start to utilize the online space and start to do some teaching. I don't know if she's here. Yeah? Even if she's not here, maybe she just see the recording. All right. Now, how many of you as teacher in your classroom have thought that one of your students decides to japa in the sense that they leave the country and the child have go, okay, they have gone, and then the parent calls you and say, Miss, who is here? Miss Regina, my daughter have just been talking about you. My daughter have just been shouting, Mommy, I want Miss Regina to teach me. I want Miss Regina to teach me. I miss my school. I miss my class. I miss all my friends. I miss everybody.
Beg.
And okay. And the parents now reach out to you, Miss Regina, and says, okay, Miss Regina, do you know my daughter have really been clamoring for your class? Is there anything you can do? How many of us here, aside Miss Regina, right, can comfortably say, do you know what, ma'am? I got you covered. Do like this. Okay, I got you covered. I got you covered. You know, I got you covered. How many of us can comfortably, just do that? Or we just say, many people are jackpine. Shame people did not know that they are going to meet Miss Regina. Instead of tell Miss Regina to follow you people. People are now there. You are saying that you want to meet. If they don't miss Miss Regina, I'll just move on with your life. Or will be the teachers that will definitely find a solution to this problem. Okay? And that's exactly why we are having a conversation like this. What if such scenario happened? What if COVID happened? Okay? Now let's look at a few benefits of online teaching and why it is important and why you need to also key into it. So this is me. Just all right. So the goal of today's conversation with Fresh to Africa today is to equip you with the knowledge that they've seen you now, Miss Betty. They have seen you pass. Don't mind her. She just likes to show herself. Don't mind her. She just likes to show herself. So all right. So our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and tools to effectively teach online, enhancing your teaching method and improving your students' engagement. All right. So that's the goal of today's conversation, and I hope I'll be able to touch on it. Now, few benefits of teaching online. All right. Few benefits of teaching online. Let me try to reduce this. All right. Few benefits. First is flexibility. We know that the online space has given us a lot of opportunity to have a flexible classroom. If you're looking for a situation where you can be flexible in your teaching, you can be flexible in giving out your value, you can be able to, let's say, for example, you're a mother and you're trying to see how to balance your motherhood, your wifehood, and your work as a teacher. Online teaching will create that flexibility for you. And not just for the teachers, it is also create the flexibility for the students. So, how many of us may have heard of flipped classroom, where you provide this content for your child, for your learners, and they go home, go through it, and just try to get themselves ready, and they just enjoy and suck in all the juice that you provided for them. And when they come the next time in class, you are able to just talk about it and just saves you the time of trying to copy notes, do this and do that. All right. So that's also another form of flexibility for the students. And sometimes we understand that these are students, they could fall sick, they could travel, they could be one way, they could be somewhere, and you still don't want them to be out of the classroom. Online teaching will also help you to create flexibility. For me personally, I've had learners come from amazing different countries. I've had learners from 9 countries, by the way, that I've worked with. And I know that it would not even be, it cannot be possible if I did not key into the online teaching atmosphere, the online teaching resources. So that's one of the benefits. It also gives you access to wider range of resources because you are not subject to only your lesson plan and your lesson curriculum, or you're not subject to this is what I have in my scheme of work. Because you're in the online space, you need to always update your brain and update your head with a lot of resources so that you are not knocked off balance. Online teaching provides you with wider range of resources, lesson materials, you have lesson content, you have videos, you have pictures, you have so many things that would help your class to be very, very interesting. it also allows you to have a personalized learning experience. So you understand that this is what my learner is like, and I'm able to teach this learner in this particular way. Unlike when we have them in a gathering of classes and you're trying to use the differentiation method of teaching and trying to see how to work with these people and work with that people. But then, because it's an online class, you're able to say, okay, when I'm working with Taye, if it's a one-on-one class, right? When I'm working with Taye, I could go through this method, I could get this particular material, I could get this particular resources, just to ensure that Taye understands my class. It's also cost effective. It allows you to be able to save transportation fare. I'm not trying to say people should stop going to their school. Okay, I'm just trying to give you benefits of why online teaching is beautiful, cost effective. You're able to work with a limited amount of resources when it comes to money for yourself, and it also just helps help you, keep this funds and save this money. So it's cost effective when you have your online class. And also, I've talked about I think I've mentioned the global reach, right? You can comfortably work with any of your learners from any part of the world. So these are the few benefits of online teaching amongst the other amazing benefits that it provides for teachers that are keen into this online teaching platform. I work with an organization. We partner with an organization, not me, myself alone. We partner with an organization that is an online school, right? An online school. You can literally enroll your child into their platform and your child don't need to go to the ballroom of a classroom. That's how the organization is. And recently I saw a post that was made by a woman I really reference. She was talking about how teachers can be able to excuse me, how teachers can be able to have other income when it comes to the regular salary that we get as teachers, because sometimes I totally understand that our salary can be very, very amazing. So keying into the online teaching platform sort of provides you other source of income as well. So these are the few benefits. I don't want to spend so much time because I know that we all can relate to this. We can all relate to this. It's not new. It's not like I'm not speaking language that is strange. We can all relate to this. Now, few things that we need to get ready when we want to eventually start an online class, because it may be easier to say, it may be easier for me to demonstrate and do my hands like this, but there are few things that you need to get ready before you get started or before you think of getting into the online class or the online teaching platform or the online teaching should I call it online teaching education space? My fellow educators, please correct me. Yes, the online teaching educator space. You need to have your internet connection. It is very, very paramount. What device are you going to use? Like I said, even if you are in the WhatsApp group of people that don't have a laptop, like I always say, if you have a smartphone, you already have a device that is very, very powerful. All right. You need to also know what digital platform works for you. Is it Google Meet? Is it Zoom? Is it WebEx? Is it Microsoft Teams? Which of them works perfectly for you? You need to identify which of them. And I would also nudge that you also get the premium. In as much as I understand that we have the free version of all of these things, but when you want to do something well, it's always good to do it well. So I'll always advise that some of this platform comes at a premium price, which will make more sense that you also invest into it. You also need resources, and we already have amazing tools that can provide you with all of these resources. You also need a background. Okay, so currently for me now, I just have to blow my background so that I can cut off any distraction that will be happening behind. Some people can just get a wrapper. Some people can get cardboard paper. Some people can just decide to stay behind their curtain. Some people can decide to just stay in one fine corner of their house that they painted white. But you just need a very good background, because you are teaching, you're demonstrating, you need to ensure that anything that happens behind you, by your side, right, left, you need to also pay attention to it because it could distract and you wouldn't want your learner to get distracted. So background is very important. Duration for your online classes also matters. I usually tell myself, if I want to do an online class, I do a max of 1 hour, 30 minutes, depending on what I'm working with or what I'm teaching that child. And also you need to also understand what teaching method and gather all your teaching methodologies, all your teaching methodology materials. Did I say that right? Okay, just to ensure that you are able to deliver value. Now, moving on, we want to quickly look at a few ways you can engage your students online, because it's a different thing to have an online class and it's a different thing to ensure that your students are fully engaged. Behind, I also have some tools that would also help. But before we jump into the tools, it's important for us to also look at these few things. How do you engage your students online? You need to ensure that the students or the children or the learners actively participate in the class. So how do you allow them participate? Ask questions that would need answer. Okay. You also need to ensure that you also have materials that will spark discussion. I understand that a lot of teachers want to, get into the online space, but sometimes some teachers can be very boring. Yes, can be very boring, and it can be very boring to the learners as well. I get sometimes a lot of people say that I sometimes act like a child or I act like a cartoon. Well, let's say it's because I'm an online teacher. So I need to ensure that I do things that would, allow my learners know that we are flowing, we're on the same page. So you need to ensure that your learner actively participates in whatever thing that you are giving out to them. And you can do that by using discussion board, open-ended question, live questions during lecture, just to know that the child is still with you. It's an online class, and sometimes the child's attention could move, and you need to get that child to know that, hey nigga, I'm here. Look at me. What can you see? Can you see my wedding ring? Can you see that I'm married? Okay, yes. Okay, you're still with me. All right. Okay, so you need to ensure that the child is actively participating. The second thing that you need to also do as well is also ensure that your content is interactive. Whenever I'm having my classes, I usually go as well as getting videos, getting graphics, getting animations, just so that I'm able to get my content interactive. And we already have YouTube as the guide that gives us all content for our classes. We also have other AI tools. How many of us have been able to go through the AI tools that I shared after our conversation the last time? How many people? How many people have gone through it? Raise up your hand. Raise up your hand. If you have gone through those AI tools, raise up your hand. Anybody? No. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Does it mean anybody have gone through the AI tools that I shared 2 weeks ago? Don't break my heart. No. Miss Regina, thank you for saving the day. Not all, but at least you have gone through one. But I'm still going to look at some of these tools as we progress in the Saturdays, okay? So interactive content, and I already shared some AI tools that can also help you to get interactive content for your class. Another thing again, the third thing that you need to also, why are you showing my face? They've already seen me. Yeah, and I'm a fine girl. All right. You need to also ensure that another way to engage your students is to also ensure that you're playing games with them. All right. And we already have Kahoot, we have quizzes, we have Quizlet, we have Google Forms that allows you to be able to gamify your class. So as an online educator, you need to allow your learners to play games. Now, the games that they are playing matters. You can bring in games that are also in line with what you're teaching. For example, you're teaching addition, right? There are so many games using Kahoots, using quizzes, Quizlets that gives you addition games. So you are intentional about the kind of game that they are playing. They're not playing 10-10. or Suwe, all those are local games, because that's not in line with what you're teaching. Maybe if you are teaching them culture, Yoruba culture, yeah, they can do Obi Shikolobi Obi out, right? But if you're teaching them some of these lessons, you need to ensure that the games that you are dishing out to them still in line with what you're teaching, just to ensure that the students are engaging. All this talk is just to ensure that you're engaging the students. The fourth thing that you need to also do is that you need to also give room for feedback. What do you think? Is the class good? Do you enjoy it? What do you want me to do next time? Should I tie gele? Should I wear face cap? Maybe I should wear sunshade. What do you think? Okay. So you need to also ensure that you allow the children to give you feedbacks. I do that a lot. Are you with me? Are you there? Okay. You're not smiling. Is anything okay? Can you sit up? Can you dress your back? Can you do, just ensure that they are engaging. All right. So provide constructive feedback. So just keep them motivated, and also to ensure that they are also on track. Another way is also have discussion. So if you want to put your children in groups, you want to pair them together, it's also important that you also do that. And it's possible to do that online. We've already looked at the benefits. So it's important that you do this online, same way you do it in your classroom, just so that you are able to allow the children to discuss. You may not want to be the only one doing the talk. That this one specifically is for group class. If it's a class of me and my learners, we cannot form group. I can only be the only person in the group with the child. Okay. So, but then if it's a peer-to-peer class, if it's a group class, I also still do group classes. Okay. So these are just ways to engage the students. So I'm trying as much as possible to rush so that we can be able to do a whole lot of things before 8 p.m. All right. Now, online classroom has a lot of BASBOs. The same way we also have these BASBOs in our physical class, we also have it in the online classroom. Now, let's look at a few ways to manage it. Now, as an online teacher, you need to ensure that you have rules in your class. So sometimes I go ahead, turn off all microphones because I don't want anybody to talk. Okay? And I tell you, it's only when it's time for the Q&A session that you are expected to talk. You know, the thing about children is that when you provide rules, they always, it may not work for everybody, but for my class, when I provide rule, it helps the children to behave. Just the same way in the physical class, you tell everybody to put their head on the table. Put their head on the table. Okay, so the same way we do the rules in our class, please hold your mouth, hold your lips, and all that we do. It is also important that we also do the same thing in our online class. Rules for how you behave, rules on how you drop your comments, rules when you have any technical issues, what can you do? And before then, it's always very important as the teacher that you walk your children through all the interface of a particular tool that you're using. For example, if this was meant to be an online class, I would have walked my children through how to use Zoom, how to unmute, how to mute, how to ask questions, how to raise up your hand, how to use the emojis, and how to leave the class. Okay, I do that just so that they know the buttons around them. Sometimes some of these parents don't even know how to share screen. Yes. Okay, so it's always good that you walk them through the tools that you're using just so that they know which button that they need to tap. And because you are the host, you have power over some things that you can turn off, just like if Mr. Adewa decides to mute all of us here now. Even if I shout from now to tomorrow, until when she chooses to unmute everybody, that's when I will speak. You see? So that's how it works also on the online space. And you should also understand as a teacher, as an online teacher, that you're going to have technical issues one of the days. Sometimes Zoom could just decide to remind you that it's not you that have the app. Like Zoom can remind you that it's still us that created the app. So today we want to go and sleep. You should just go and take care of yourself. Just go and handle yourself. Okay? Or Google Meet can say today, we are not Googling. So everybody, answer your father's surname. But then it's also good that when these technical issues comes up, that you as a teacher, you're not panicking like, hey, oh, my village people, hey, oh, they have come for me. Miss Betty said we should do online class. I've done online class today. Now Google Meet is not working. Oh, they've come for me. Okay. So you need to also like calm down and just look at how you can be able to handle some of these technical issues. Sometimes it could be your learner's network. It may not be your fault. It could be your learner's network. Sometimes it could be your network. Okay. But it's always good that you have a plan for addressing issues like this. So maybe they need to leave the class and come back. Maybe you need to like leave the class and you come back. But please don't panic and don't put your hand on your head like this and say, hey, Jesus, oh, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. Not all right. So you need to also ensure that you are also monitoring the student activity, because sometimes it's an online class and the child could be doing something else. So as you're teaching, you need to also pay attention to body language, body movements, and just to ensure that the child is actively participating. So monitor their activity and also their participation to ensure that they are still with you. Are you still with me, everybody? Is everybody still with me? Please give me thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you are still with me in this class, if you are learning one thing or two things that you could use for 2025, please give me thumbs up so I can be sure that we are still on the same page. If you are still following me, please give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up now. If you not, they will not collect any money from you. It's free, oh, it's free. Miss Tolokpa, give me thumbs up because it is free. You will not pay for it. Miss Ayoba, give me thumbs up. Everybody in this class, give me thumbs up. Ah, wow. If I just, you will not pay. Miss Tolu, give me thumbs up. If Miss Tolu don't give me thumbs up, we'll stay here. Okay. People that you not pay for this thing, enjoy it, okay? Another way to also manage your online classroom is also ensure that you have, create a positive environment with your learner, just to ensure that you are also you're also supportive. Sometimes the learner could, this one. Sometimes the learner could also be, having some behind the scene that is not really your fault, but because you're the teacher, you need to also ensure that the environment once the child comes in is welcoming, is lively, is bubbling. Don't be like online teachers that they will just come online and just say, how are you? Welcome, welcome. When did we stop in the last class? Do you do your assignment? Okay. Oh yeah. Next. Oh, your environment alone safe. It's just like your normal physical class. You just please create a positive environment. Let the ginger be gingering, let the energy be energy. Let the energy be energy in. Mr. Did I speak that English very well? You need to also ensure that you have effective communication channels. You can talk with thumbs up, you can talk with give me high five everybody. Some chop knock. All right. So these are just ways to ensure that you are also communicating and you are properly managing your class. All right. I'm going to give room for questions as I gradually wrap up. Okay. I think I would just need to like jump. I think I will need to like jump. Okay, I see chats. All right. Something I laugh. Miss Adona, you pay me for this laugh, because it's not easy to be a comedian, Philip's hair. Okay. So I'm trying to like move over to the next. So there are still a lot of things that you can do to manage your online class, and also how you can be able to access your student. But let me just jump. Yeah, online learning is not the next big thing. It is the now big thing. So if you are here and you're not utilizing online learning, you're not utilizing online teaching, you're not even utilizing anything online, you're not even online. Like, So I would have loved to share with you how to solve some challenges that may come up in the course of your online classroom, but maybe I'm going to do that hopefully next week. I want to just quickly jump into the tools, the resources. Yeah. But I think I'll talk about the other parts maybe like next week before we jump into a mini practical. But then let's look at a few resources that you need for online teaching, so that in case if someone like Miss Regina wants to start an online class like today, Miss Regina will be like, Miss Betty, have given me ginger. Oh yeah, all my parents, come online, let's go. I'm a tech teacher. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so in case you want to get started, what are the few resources that you need? First of all, you need to so let me leave this one because it can be a bit advanced. You need to understand the video conferencing tools that you're going to use for your live classes, for your virtual classes. And I've mentioned this: Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet. And to get started with this application, the only thing that you need is your email. Email. Let me speak like Igbo. Email. That's not Igbo. Email. Anyways, you need to ensure that you have an email address, because that's the only thing that you need to create an account. All right. So you need to create an account on this platform before you are able to use them. Let me give you a cheat code for Zoom. Okay, let me give you a cheat code for Zoom. So I understand that Zoom is 40 minutes and Google Meet is 1 hour, but then Zoom has some level of, it has some level of is a boss when it comes to online teaching, right? So it's 40 minutes. Get a premium account. And I feel like the premium account lasts you for like a long period of time. So you get to like use it for a long period of time. Or you can get the premium for Google Meet. Yeah, the cheat code for Zoom. You can decide to have to, but then it's going to be like stressful. 2 device, 2 email address. You open a Zoom meeting here. When Zoom gives you the nudge that you have 10 minutes left, you move over to this account, send the link to the child to join. It's a lot of work, but then just get the premium. Yeah, the premium. Thank you. So we have video conferencing tool that will help you to have your virtual class. You have Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and then you also have Google Meet, you have WebEx, and so on and so forth. Now, you need to also ensure that you have amazing content for your class. For example, the slides that you're seeing here was made with Canva. Okay, so you need to also understand that you need to have content for your virtual classes. You can decide to shoot videos and play your video for your learners to just listen and then ask questions. You can give assignments, you can give, assignments, and all of that. And to do this content creation, you need tools like Canva, your camera. You can decide to record your screen and record. You have Camtasia, which happens to be a screen recording tool. But then Canva is good. How many of us here know how to use Canva? Maybe we should have a class on Canva. How many of us know how to use Canva? Raise up your hand. If you know how to use Canva very well, please raise up your hand. Okay. Miss Regina, Miss Adewonke. Miss Adewonke. Hey, my one and only. Any other Miss Adewonke is a counterfeit, All right, thank you for those people that are raising up their hand. I see. Hey, everybody knows how to use Canva. Miss Adora, we already have tech teachers. Everybody knows how to use Canva.
I don't trust this. Everybody knows how to use Canva, because some people just know how to use the basics of Canva. They don't know that Canva can do more, right? So we're not talking about basics now. Like, the tricks of Canva. Like, it's not making flyers now, like putting template and creating flyers. No, even your PowerPoint slides.
Like my slides.
Create your PowerPoint slides. You can create your PowerPoint slides. You can make your videos with your PowerPoint slides. Just the same way you work with Zoom, you can do that in Canva as well. You can the same thing you do in PowerPoint. like for Microsoft, you can also do it in Canva, and it's nice as well there.
Yeah. Maybe we
Transitions,
look at
durations, and all.
even animation with Canva. One of my learners
Yes,
did an
animation with
animation
Canva.
like
Yes, 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 yes. So a lot of things,
okay.
even AI, there are AI tools there in Canva now that you can
Yeah, Magic
learn.
Media. Yeah,
Yes.
if you see, okay, maybe let's see. But I like people at least you know how to use Canva. I have faith in you. But Mr. Adewa is saying, can you do more? Can everybody say more? More. Okay, talk about that. So you need to at least have an idea of Canva, Camtasia, Adobe Creative Cloud. These are just tools that will help you to create content, to help your class to be better. Okay, wrapping up, we also have tools that you can use for your assessments. I think I already mentioned them already. You also have platforms for creating your quiz, your assignment, your exam, just to ensure that your learner is having an amazing time. I always like Google Form because I can by myself ask my question. I can by myself put the answer. I can by myself put the score. So as my learner is hitting submit, they know if they get Odo. Like just know already if you got 0/1 million. Okay. So these are all assessment tools that would also help your class. You have Kahoot, you have Google Form, you have Quizlet, just to ensure that the child doesn't feel different from a regular class. We also have interactive learning tool that would also help your class, engage. Then we also have communication tools like that. We also have collaboration tools as well, and so on and so forth. Okay, so remember that transitioning to online teaching can be challenging, but it's also an opportunity for growth and innovation. Approach it with confidence, utilize strategies and resources that we've discussed today, and always be open to learning and adapting. Together, we can create an innovation. See those concrete trains. Zadora that taught me. Zadora that taught me those concrete trains, those punchline. Aspire to aspire. All right, teachers, thank you so much. So I want to quickly take questions. Next week, we're going to look at some of these AI tools for educators. We're going to go look at them in practice. We create an account to see how they work, we'll see what they do, we'll see how we can use them in our lesson notes. Ms. Adoa talked about some amazing things that Canva can do. We'll see how to look at all of this. But like I always say, like I said when we started like 2 weeks ago, that as teachers, you just need to have the basic when it comes to tech. I know sometimes we teachers will say, tech, me, I'm not a computer teacher. I'm a social studies teacher. I'm not computer. So please, if you want to ask me anything that has to do with computer, go and meet Mr. John. Mr. John is computer teacher. So please. And it's sort of like limit us when we feel like it is for a particular person. And that's why Isadora have dragged everybody here to come and get at least. And that's why I even said that you just need to start with like the basic. Okay. If it's the basic ones that you're able to get, you're good. And that's why when we meet next week, Saturday, we'll do the basic. We'll look at some of the AI tools that I shared. We'll pick them one after the other, see how it works, see what they do, look at the AI part that Canva has, the Magic Media, and what it does, and how you can be able to use it to generate content for your slides, for your class, for your learner. And gradually, we'll see how this thing works. Like I always say, it's not difficult. Just have an open mind. Sometimes we teacher, we are always boxed with that. This is what I know, and that's it. Okay, but it would make more sense that we start to open our mind to some of these things just to get ourselves ready. Should in case we want to go beyond the classroom wall. Thank you so much for listening. I'm glad I was able to share this few points of mine. I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that online teaching and tech is easy, but you just need to have an open mind and be ready to learn. Thank you. All right, so I just want to take a few questions. Questions. Any question? Or was I able to like do justice? Like, if nobody asks questions, you just like carry me like, Please ask question, anybody, or people that are very familiar with some of these tools that we've looked at. What do you want to say? Do you have anything you feel like you want to add so that it will not be that it's only me that is talking? Anybody wants to say anything? Miss Virginia seems to be like, Miss Virginia's face, the way her face is looking like she knows some things about tech. And the way Miss Ayoba's face is looking, when Mr. Adewonke's face, that face is giving like a tech face. So please, would there be anything you would like to add? Would there be anything you want to add?
Just well, I want to add something. Well, not necessarily add, Patricia, but it's a question. You know, as teachers, like we are so flooded with a lot of things, and sometimes, even though tech will help us like cut time and things like that, but even the time to implement those tools, for example, let's say Kahoot now, and I want to leverage Kahoot in my classroom. How do I use it in a way that it doesn't consume time, it doesn't eat into time, I'm getting the best out of it, out of those tools? Do you understand the question? Because with Kahoot, you still need time to create the questions or the quiz or whatever, right? Before your class. And then in class, you now have to like move from one question to the other. So how do you leverage like cut time with those tools and just enjoy using them?
Okay. All right. So like I always say, everybody, we all have 24 hours. And maybe like Mr. Doha, I think like Mr. Doha have like 26 hours. But the rest of us, we have 24 hours. I just feel like it is a planning thing. Like, I really don't know, but I just feel like it's a planning thing. So every classroom have 45 minutes to teach, or we have a certain period of time to have our lesson. What if we say, today, I've been teaching you people for the past 8 weeks. This particular week, we want to do a test of learning, we want to do a test of knowledge, we want to see, I want to see what I've even been teaching you people. You have even been paying attention, right? So I just feel like it's not meant to be a only teaching thing. So if it's a time to move into Kahoot or create something, I just feel like we just need to like balance it. You know, we just need to like balance it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to switch to my tab. Please just give me small time, just a small time. Okay. So, Mr. Doe, I don't know if I was able to answer your question. I may not really like not the perfect question, because for me, the perfect answer, because for me, I just feel like it is just a time thing. Okay. If we all know that it is important to, let's even agree. So yeah, I'm trying to move to the other device. I'm sorry, please. Just trying to move to other. I'm so sorry, please. I'm just trying to switch. I sincerely apologize for what I'm currently doing. Okay, so Mr. Adowa, I don't know if I was able to answer your question. I don't know if I was able to. But then, like I said, it's just a priority thing. So if we place priority on we've done teaching to a certain level and then we want to now do this and move over to this particular want to move over to, we need okay. Mr. Nova, could you make like this my second account that just joined in? I don't even need to even be host. Okay.
No, don't worry. I think we're almost done, yeah. Except we're trying to switch devices, but I think you can
Okay. I don't know. So, Mr. Nova, was I able to like answer your question? I just said rubbish.
Hava. You're good, you're good. So like you said, it's just prioritize it's just prioritizing tech, literally. It's prioritizing tech and knowing that it's for our advantage. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. Are you kidding? I'm so sorry, guys. So